Stacey, if you were on my Facebook page in the last couple of days, you would have seen a gigantic post. I put a picture of you and I said, I can't believe who I am talking with this week. It is such an honor for me
Thank
to
you.
be even virtual in your presence. So thank you for your time today.
It is a delight. Thank you.
Wow, it really is you. I'm so excited.
If the power of the right to vote was truly made available to everyone in America, it would change the future of this nation.
Tell me what makes this film so special and personal to you.
Liz Garbus and Lisa Cortes took this idea that we had of telling the history of voter suppression as a way to understand the challenge to our democracy, but also the opportunities for our democracy, and putting it into film. And they did an amazing job with it. My mission is for people to understand what we face so we know what we can do so we can win.
And what would be your advice? I know we could go on for hours about this, but people are going to see this film, and the takeaway you want is obviously for people to get more involved, know what your rights are. Am I going down that right path? Am I correct by saying that?
Absolutely. This is a film that's trying to tell people, yes, there is a problem. Yes, they really are after us, but we can fight back. And we're not fighting back just for ourselves. We're fighting back for our democracy. If you make a plan to vote and tell everyone you know to do the same, if you volunteer to be to help people use their rights, and if you sign up to be a poll worker, there are ways you can help not just acknowledge this problem, but fix it and fight for our democracy.
What inspired you to go into public service?
My family. I grew up in, my mom used to call us the genteel poor, but my parents taught us that part of our job was to take care of each other, and not just our family, but take care of the world around us. I found that I was most drawn to doing it through government, that this is this entity that has this magnificent responsibility for helping all of us pool our resources and pool our needs, but also pool our opportunities. And I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to make sure it worked for everyone. And that's why voting is so important to me.
What scares you most about the upcoming elections?
That people panic. We know that there are going to be challenges, and that's one of the other reasons for All In. People need to understand there have always been challenges to the right to vote. But when we persevere, when we understand them, and when we push back, we can still use that power. And I don't want people to be despondent. I don't want them to be afraid. I want them to be enraged, and I want that rage to galvanize them to action.
I want to close with this. You are an incredible person and such an inspiration to many, including myself. I really look up to you. What is your life motto? Like, what is your what gets you through just every day? What's your motto?
It's not a fun one, but it works for me, which is that the glass is half full. It's just probably poisoned. My job is to find the antidote.
And I just want to tell you both, I'm still on a high. I just talked to Stacey Abrams, and I'm freaking out right now. So awesome.
Yay!
Yes.
She's pretty fun to talk to, huh?
I love her, and she knows that I love her because I went on and on. My mom, who's sitting to the left over here, we were all freaking out. It was great. It's an honor for me to speak with you all as well, because I want to first thank you for this film that is so important that people need to see. I want to start with you, Liz. How did this whole thing start for you all?
Well, that woman who you admire so much, she's how it started for us. She came into the office and she said she wanted to make a film about the history of voting rights. She didn't want a film about her election. She didn't want it to be about any one party or any one candidate. She wanted us to understand the crisis we're in right now in terms of history, not a party, not a person. Now, we pushed her a little bit. We do tell her story because, in documentary filmmaking, oftentimes the small story tells the larger one. And that's what we try to do in All In.
Lisa, what was the biggest thing that surprised you as you uncovered the research, as you worked with Stacey? Was there one thing that really surprised you the most?
Well, I think, there's that moment, Dave, when she goes to vote and has issues. And of course, because she has a bunch of journalists with her, she knows how to navigate through the system, she is able to vote. But what's also surprising, as you know, people will see in the film, are the issues that her opponent, Brian Kemp, had when he went to vote and has problems with his card. So it goes to show you that there are problems with the system, and certainly if you are powerful enough, you know how to navigate. But oftentimes what we have saw is that when these issues of voter suppression happen, people think it's just them. People take the onus on them. And what is important for us to realize is that it is not about the individual. There are systemic issues that are happening.
Liz, what do you hope that the conversation is after people see this? I know that's such a vague question, but this film is so powerful. What is the one thing that you hope that people talk about after they see this?
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, we thought of it a little bit as a monster movie where there's this, ugly, horrible monster of voter suppression that like comes up in our history attacking. And then there's a great superhero who's slaying that dragon only to find like another monster popping up, right? So we want you to understand that we are, the slayers of that dragon, all of us, when we go to the polls, because the best antidote to voter suppression is voter turnout. So you got to show up, you got to stand online. I am sorry those lines are too long. I'm sorry that, in this pandemic, many folks are going to have to be out there waiting online, but we do have to protect this right. And the best way to do it is by showing up and knowing your rights.